Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video we are going to clean up the UI a little bit of Yelp Comics and make the buttons render only whenever appropriate. There are three specific things that I want to do. First, I want to make these buttons, these edit and delete buttons, only show up whenever I am the owner of this comic, if I'm signed in as the owner of this comic. As it is, I'm not even signed in and they're showing up. Now it won't let me actually do anything, but it's still not a very good user experience to have these buttons show up when I can't actually do anything with them. The same is true for comments. I don't have a comment, so I'll go ahead and just add one real quick. Let me sign in as test. And then I will add a comment, test, comment. These buttons show up even if I sign out. So let me log out, come in here, and I can still see these buttons. I can't actually, again, I can't do anything with them. They don't do me any good, but I don't even want them to show up unless I am this person. So we want to hide these buttons if I'm not signed in, hide these buttons if I'm not signed in, and finally, I want to make this add comic button only show up if I am signed in. And again, the functionality works, we're just working on the UI. So let's work on these buttons first. There are several ways you could do that. I'm going to show you what I think is the easiest way to do it, but if you go about it a different way, that's perfectly fine. So let's pull up our view, because this is where we're going to do the thing. And it is a comic show is where this is. So we're already passing the user to all of our EJS templates due to that middleware that we created. So really inside of here, all we have to do is check to see if the username exists and matches the comic. If so, show the buttons. So let's find those buttons. Let's see, here we go. Right here are the two buttons, the edit and delete buttons. And so we basically just have to wrap these in an if statement. So let's use our scriptlet tags. If, and then afterwards, we're going to close. So if user, so in other words, if the user exists, and if username is equal to comic.owner.username. Indent that, save it. Refresh and see if it works. They went away. Perfect. So let's log in as test and see if they show back up. Uh-oh, username is not defined. Oh, I did user.username. Let's try that again. Refresh. There we go. So they are here now, but when I log out, they're no longer there. And that's really all there is to it for that one. And this is what I would like you to do with the comments. This is the challenge for this video. Use the same type of thing, just use an if statement wrapped in scriptlet tags, check if the user exists and if the user owns the comment. And you're going to do that down here around the buttons, the comment buttons. Go ahead and pause the video, give that a shot, knock it out. Once you are done, come on back and we can do this together. All right, I hope that went well. So let's go ahead and knock this out. Let's find the buttons. Let's see, here is the delete one, and here's the edit one. It's a little hard to see on Gorm because the things are wrapping, but they are right here, or where the two buttons are. So let's go ahead and put that in, and then put this in, just to kind of set it off a little bit and make it a little bit easier for us to see. So all that's happening down here is a closing curly. Up here we have our if statement and our opening curly. So we are checking if user and user.username is equal to comment.user.username. So if they are, load those buttons, but if they're not, don't. So right now I'm not logged in and I don't see those buttons. So let me log in as test. Now I do see those buttons, so that is working as intended. And let's just to test it, let's log in as Scooby and see if both those things are also working. Yep, so this way I'm logged in as a different user and I still can't see those buttons, even though I am indeed logged in. The last thing I want to do is to make this add comic button only show up if I am signed in. So right now I'm not signed in. So I want this to go away, but I want it to still be there whenever I am signed in. So this one is not inside of Comics Show. This one is inside of the navbar partial. So let's find the Add Comic button right here. And we want to do the entire li, not just the a, the whole li is what we're doing. So, and we actually have the logic down here for it. If user, in other words, if the user's logged in, and then we can just cut and paste this whole thing inside of there, fix our indentation, get rid of this extra space. There we go. And then refresh. Now it's not there, but when I sign in, it is now there again. And the last thing I want to do is I want to shut my server down, do git status, and you can see that it's got these two things. So git add, we'll just add them both, git commit with a message of conditionally render buttons, and git push origin master. I personally don't push to Heroku every single time I do something. You can, and it's honestly is probably a best practice to do that. That way, if in case something breaks in Heroku, then you'll see it and you'll be able to more easily troubleshoot it. I'm just lazy sometimes, and I don't push it every single time. I wait, generally speaking, until I'm done coding for that day or with a major addition or a bigger chunk, because it just takes longer to wait on the Heroku to render and everything. So I'm not saying that's the best thing to do, it's just what I do because I'm lazy. In this video, we did three major things. First, we made it so the edit and delete buttons only show up if you own the comic, if you are authenticated as the comic owner. We did the same thing with the comments, where they only show up if you are authenticated as that comment owner, the user who made that comment. And then finally, we made this add comic button only show up if you are signed in. Now that I'm signed out, it is not there. And if I click on here, none of those buttons are there, none of those buttons are there. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be happy to help. Thanks.